king, I am not a god, I am Hunkpain.
Welcome Tano! In this video I will provide you with a comprehensive guide on optimizing your Glaive Prime for maximum slash damage, utilizing the melee crescendo arcane. Together, we will conquer enemies at level 9999 in Warframe. Allow me to demonstrate the true potential of your Glaive. Let's go!
Let's give the people what they came for!
This is where we hold them.
Oh shit, here we go again.
This is where we fight.
Is that even legal?
This is where they die. You know how much I sacrificed?
Welcome back Tano! Hope you enjoyed the speedrun. If you did, hit that like button. Now as always, we take beginners friendly approach for Tanos that try to learn new stuff. This time it's about how to use Glaive, because having a powerful build without the knowledge of using Glaive, it's useless and you will complain your damage isn't equal to the demonstration. Now, when we tap at the melee button, you'll see that the Glaive start to perform like a Nikana or like a Sifan or etc. Now, that's not how you use Glaive, because Glaive is made to use in range, in distance. You don't want to be close to the enemies when you use Glaive. You want always to keep your distance. That's the first rule about Glaive. Now, if I hold my melee button, you will see a certain animation. You see that in the aim dot? There you go. Alright, you can see that certain animation. That means you're throwing your Glaive. If I throw it at the Strux, boom. Okay, now you're almost there, guys. If you're able to do this, you're almost there. What you're missing is performing a heavy attack while your Glaive is mid-air. So for example, imagine my Revenant is a Glaive and I'm throwing it. If I want to detonate it here, I use a heavy attack here. If I want to detonate it here, I use a heavy attack here. If I want to detonate it here, I use a heavy attack here. In the meaning of, when I throw my Glaive, when I want to detonate it, I use a heavy attack. You see that smoke? You see that blue explosion? Okay, so this is without detonation. Alright, look at that. There is nothing. You see? There is nothing. And it keeps traveling. There is nothing. But if I just boom, detonate, boom, detonate. Now let's throw in here. As you can see, boom, 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 detonating on the guy. Simple as that. That's your heavy attacks, and that's how you detonate. Once more, let's resummon one more guy, and boom. Now the best way to do it is try always to hit enemies in top of their head and detonate it in top of their head. You see that's the best way, I think, to Glaive. Simple as that. And now this build is about melee crescendo, so you need to learn how to perform finishers. I will stay away from mentioning any Warframes that does finishers or perform finishers or their abilities open enemies for finishers. I'll stick to common grounds where you can use this with any Warframes. Starting first with the Bronco Prime, Dazzling rounds, shots from less than 8 meters stun enemies and open them to finishers and 200% statue chance. This is one way. Second way is Naramon. Naramon had the sling stun. When you use the second ability and then you sling to enemies, you make them vulnerable to finishers and they take 30% more finishers. Now, the Vazarin, in the other hand, doesn't say finishes, but the Void Snare, when you use the second ability, you're going to put enemies down in the ground as ragdoll, so you can press X and you're going to perform finishers. And this is the best and the fastest way to get the finishers. The other way is using the aerial mode. You can use them on your Warframe or you can use them in your primary. This one. Now, damage enemies while aim gliding means you are in the air and right click aim and hit them. Okay, you will put them to sleep, means they're open for finishers. And now you learned how to glaive and you learned how to perform finishers. It's time for the real deal. Glaive build. Gleaming Talon for the stance, Amalgam Organ Shatter for critical damage, and now you know why I'm using it. for the 60% heavy attack wind up speed. Okay? Now, Killing Blow for 120% melee damage on heavy attacks. Now you know why. It's because you learned how to glaive. 60% heavy attack wind up speed, sacrificial steel for critical chance, and 2 times for heavy attack, because that's what we're gonna be doing. Heavy attack, the explosion, the detonation, that's heavy attack. Blood rush for 40%, critical chance stacks up with combo multiplier. Don't panic, because we're gonna be using melee crescendo. We're gonna be at 12 combo multipliers. Volatile quick return to override the glaive to become -4 bounce, +3 blast, and 100% chance to explode on bounce. Disable punch through. Primate pressure point for melee damage to increase our slash. Melee elementalist. But before melee elementalist, you're going to say, Hank, why don't you use buzzkill? No, because if I use buzzkill here, I'm lowering all the other stuff. So I'm lowering my total damage, right? I'm getting some extra here, but I'm lowering my total damage. So I prefer the primate pressure point, but use it at your own pace. Now, melee elementalist is a multiplicative mode. It's 90% statue damage for slash, heat, electricity, toxin, blast, and gas. Now we have the blast and we have the slash, and we're good to go. 60% heavy attack wind up speed. And here we got the primate smite Grineer if you're gonna fight Grineer, Corpus if you find a Corpus, Orokin if you find an Orokin, and so on. Orokin, in case you don't know, they are the corrupted gunners and so on. Melee crescendo on finisher. Now you already know how to finish enemies. Kill. Gain 6 initial combo for the rest of your mission. You don't need to have a melee crescendo rank 5. Even rank 1 will do the job, but it will take you longer to fill your combo. Now, the build is totally slash and blast, because that comes with the weapon, and you're good with the glaive. And now, while the weapon doesn't have any ribbon, so you can take the build the way it is to level cap like you saw in the demonstration without ribbon. Now, if you know anything about me, I use a method called DVS. D stands for damage, V stands for viral, to make enemies vulnerable with 325% damage to their HP, and S stands for strip, to lower their damage reduction to minimum, because armor sucks in Warframe, but they come something called damage reduction. So that's how we're gonna do. Glaive coming with damage, and now for Revenant Prime, you can use this with any Warframe: Steel Charge, Arcane Fury, Arcane Strike, Vigorous Swap, and you're good to go. Now, the helmet ability I'm going to be using is the Tempest Barrage from Hydroid Subsumable ability. It will rain corrosive stacks 10 stacks for 80% armor strip. And with the Viral Tempest Augment, you will proc viral on them. So one ability, corrosive, viral, and stripping. How we're gonna make it like 100% armor strip? We're gonna use the help of the 2 Emerald Archon shards. So instead of 10 stacks from the Tempest Barrage, we will have 14 stacks. So enemies will be 100% armor strip. Means their damage reduction will be at minimum. Now, when it comes to the other Archon shards, of course, we're gonna be using Violet Archon shards for the 25% melee critical damage. And when your energy, and make sure your energy is more than 500. If your Warframe cannot make it to 500, use 1 energy Archon shard in here, and if you have them Tau Forged, that's even better. Now, if you don't like my method on armor stripping using the Emerald Archon shards and Tempest Barrage to proc viral, it's alright. I will leave you this sheet right here so you can maneuver on different style of armor stripping and procking viral. For the companion, I like to use Nautilus Prime because Cordon will pull enemies in, makes them easy for me to just like boom, 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 one shot. Cordon to pull enemies, Duplex for the clones, Assault mode, so the sentient attack enemies. Now, if I want the sentient to attack and then pull, I'll put the mods in this order. If I wanted to pull and then attack, I'll put them in this order. And yes, it matters the organization of the mods in your sentient. Vacuum to pull the loot, Manifold Bond to make sure I cast often the Cordon. Now, Manifold Bond doesn't work only with 2 augments in a sentient, which is Ghost from Shade and Negate from Worm. Calculate direction, shield capacity, fiber for armor, and enhanced vitality. Now, the calculated direction is really important to have here because finally Nautilus become prime, and now he can actually use it to reach the 1225 shield for the reinforced bond to work, because it needs 1200. Before, only Worm was capable of doing so. Now finally Nautilus is capable. Now Tenacious Bond for that juicy critical damage if your critical chance is beyond 50. Now, the best weapon, of course, in the game right now is the Verglass Galvanized Chamber, Surration Point Strike, Primate Bane of Grineer, and yes, this weapon can kill. That's why we have a multiplicative faction mode in there. So let's put Orokin there. Vigilante Armaments for multi-shot, Fervor for fire rate, Verglass VZ. You don't care about this ribbon, alright? What you care about is having critical chance, so you can push the critical chance beyond 50, and that's what you care about. Thermite Round for heat, and you're good to go, as it's gonna be blast, because we have now blast from the weapon, slash, viral, corrosive, stripping enemies. We're good to go. But if you don't have Verglass Prime or I don't know what's going on, you can just use the Volclock, and here is the build for my Volclock. You'll be good to go with that, as you're going to be using the Vigilante set, and that's it until you get a Riven for your Verglass, and it's worth it. And now let's apply everything that we learned today. 12 combo ready from the finishers, melee crescendo ready, cordon from Nautilus pool the enemies already, throwing the glaive on top of their heads and detonate with heavy attack. Let's go, boom. 3,100,000 slash dot proc. We're not joking around, guys. Throw on top of their head and boom, that part is dead. Okay, easy as that. But throwing like this, no bueno, guys. You go like this, oh Hank, the build is not working good. That's not the way. Okay, make sure that your combo is consumed. That means you're in the right path. Okay, how you do it? Throw, detonate, and they're gone. 3,600,000 easy. Now let's put the cherry on top of the cake. You don't have to, but let's proc viral for 325%, make them more vulnerable to their HP damage, and armor strip them to reduce their damage reduction. Alright, let's go. 1, 2, and shkaboom. I mean, they're deleted 100%. Look at that. Easy. Easy. One last time, so you get an understanding of what's happening right here. Now that's why you want Cordon to pull them in, like so, and let's go. Done. Gone. Whatever. They're not coming back. And now Tano, scoop for the next video, because guess what? Kullervo for level cap with Glaive Prime is coming. Why Kullervo? Kullervo boosts 75% heavy attack efficiency, and that's what we want. So we want always our combo multiplier to be at 12 and 100% heavy attack wind up speed. But let me show you a quick scoop from the level cap. And now let me show you a glimpse of power, so you stay tuned for the Kullervo level cap. Boom. Chaining them in. And scoop. Gone. Good night. In the end, I want to say thank you so much, guys, for watching. I hope you find this video helpful and you learned one thing or two. Special thanks to all members and every member of the community that's been supporting this channel all along. Don't forget to like, subscribe to see more of the content, and join our Discord, link in the description. Follow me on Twitch, because I stream on YouTube and Twitch now. And always remember, Tano, glaive them all. Peace and love.